Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And now you can see our first video of the new year. It is now 2020, y'all, so love that for us. But now it is the start of 2020, which is the new year. So what that means, a lot of people have these New Year's resolutions in their mind. Now they just want to reach every single New Year's resolution. They just have all these goals in mind before 2020 ends. Now, I also have that as well. So a couple things that I want to do, I want to lose some weight a little bit, gain some muscle. You already know I have not been to the gym since 2019, y'all. It's been weeks and I've been suffering and I feel bloated as fuck. So we're gonna change that, hopefully, fingers crossed. But another thing is try something new, like not just one thing. I want to try like several new things. So like, or at least get back into more hobby-like endeavors. You know what I'm saying? So like one of them, I want to get back into reading a little bit. I want to try some more vegan options. So something you guys don't know about me is that I'm not vegetarian or I'm not vegan, and I don't really know if I'm going to be one, but I've always liked the idea of trying new things and trying new vegan food. And let's be honest, y'all, some vegan food is just not good at all, but some vegan food is so good. So if you know any vegan options, comment down below any vegan food you like to try or like to have, and if it's super easy, as in I could get it at the supermarket, I don't have to cook or anything, that would be fantastic. But yeah, that's just another thing. And another New Year's resolution of mine is to, I guess, reflect upon 2019 and any mistakes I've done or any actions I've didn't like and felt like I am a better person than the action I really committed. I want to reflect that upon those actions and those mistakes and be a better person and grow in 2020. And I've always tried to do that every single year. Every single year I know there's that one mistake or several mistakes that I've always regretted, and I try to fix the other person, and I usually always do. But there's been a few instances that I look back and see some behaviors that I'm not a fan of, and I try to fix it. And I have been reflecting lately. And we love that. You already know, nighttime, it is emo boy hours. I always say the nights are heavy. Looking upon the void and reflecting upon our past. I have been reflecting, and I've noticed a toxic trait that I showed last year, and I have shown in the past, but it comes from a place of being hurt and disappointment. And I want to actually talk about that right now, because I just want to have the message of, no matter how much you are confident in yourself or how much you have self-love and all that stuff, you're not perfect. No one's perfect in this world. In the past, in my daily life, it is not a good time. There is no action whatsoever. But I have been trying to get with guys and all that stuff, and I tried my best to find a person and be with them and all that stuff. But here's where the toxicity comes from me. For example, if I'm talking with a guy and I start to like them, and I don't know if they're gay or straight or bi or whatnot, and I feel like they might be, and all of a sudden start crushing on them, I will most likely eventually tell them how I feel. And if I tell them how I feel and I don't really get the action I've wanted, for instance, if I tell them hey, I like you, blah, 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 this is how I feel, this is why I feel this way, do you want to go out or whatever, right? And if they tell me oh, I don't swing that way, I'm straight or whatnot, then it just becomes too awkward for me, and I just leave it at that. And I'm okay, cool, bye. But here's the problem with that. I'm a gay individual, and if you haven't seen the video I'm gay, go check it out. I did make a video talking about it. But if I wanted to tell a person that, I like them, another guy, obviously, because I wouldn't tell a girl. I tell a guy that, and they say they're straight, but they're being so cool about that, I've noticed that I want to feel so awkward that I just stop and I just ghost them. And that's not cool by any means, because in a way they respected my sexual orientation. But obviously they said hey, I don't swing that way. That's cool, that's your sexual orientation, that's your identity. But for some reason, I always had this thing in my head. It's like, oh, well, you don't like me. Now it's like, I don't want to keep going. Okay, bye. You know? But I didn't take the steps to like actually talk with them like in person and like have like an actual adult conversation. And now, every single time I like ask a person out, it's always been through text, which by the way, let's stop that shit in 2020, Josh, because you're a grown adult and stop being a little bitch. Like, let's stop that right now. They respected my own sexual orientation. So like me ghosting them doesn't really respect their own sexual orientation. Their identity is being a straight male and I'm a gay male. So like if they respect me, why can't I respect them? Here's for example. Last year, I asked this boy out like through text, unfortunately, whatever. But I barely saw them. So like, let me make this point clear. Every single time I'm texting them is always an instance of like, I don't really ever see them. So like, but I've seen them like once or twice and then like, I was interested. This one example, I asked this boy, hey, like, if you're not busy this week, if you're down, like, I hope we can get like lunch or let's get coffee or something, like, let's hang out, you know? And he said, sorry, I'm busy. Now, initially, when I first saw that, I was just like, oh my God, he said he was busy. If you're gonna say that you're busy, well, I'm busy for you, so bye, right? And obviously that's toxic. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. But in that instance, I was like, no, you're busy, whatever. You're busy for me, I'm like busy for you, bye. And then it's just like, now, like, I'm reflecting upon that action in 2019. I'm like, but he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he didn't do anything wrong at all. And, you know, later down the line, I saw him again, like, in this, like, sorority event. I was, like, walking towards a friend, and this specific boy was next to him, and I completely ignored this boy. To have, like, that bad bitch moment, I felt like I was putting myself first. But then I looked back at it, and I'm like, that was so stupid. That was so dumb. Like, I disrespected this kid for, like, literally no reason, and, like, I didn't like who that person was. And it's just something like that. It's like, but that person, like, he's not straight, but he's like still trying to figure out his own identity. So, you know, like I said in the I'm gay video, like, it's everyone's journey. I believe I said that, but I will say this now. Finding your own sexual orientation is your own journey, and take your time with that. But it is important to respect one's own identity and one's like sexual orientation. So even though like I know he wasn't straight, I still didn't respect him for his own identity, and also I didn't respect him because he was just busy that time. And of course we didn't link up and like date or anything. But to end that story with that kid, basically that happened, and I didn't like how I reacted, and I texted him like a whole ass apology, and he accepted it, and we're cool. Now, fast forward to now. The last day of 2019, I told him how I felt. Like, we hanged out a few times, but it was only like a couple of times, and I knew I started having feelings for him because we had so much in common, and I like liked his energy, and he was just so nice. He was such a nice kid, and he was like so smart and all this stuff. And like, he's like so smart and like so cute and all that. But I told him how I felt, and he told me he was straight, right? So I was like, okay, bummer. But at the same time, he was like such a good friend to me. And if I felt like the same way as I was like 2019 when I did that thing to the first guy, I would have just like completely said like, this is awkward, I don't want to talk anymore, bye, ghosting. And like, the reason I did that is because it comes from like a past of like, you know, disappointment and always getting rejected, and like, this sounds so sad, but like, it's always like getting rejected and all this stuff. And then like, I do it to like protect myself, because the first time I ever like liked a guy and like put all my feelings out, I was like really hurt in the end. So this was like a defense mechanism basically. But it just turned to like a toxic behavior that may have like made me like miss out on some like really good friendships. So this particular guy, he told me he was straight. It's cool, that's your identity. But I like thought about it, I didn't want to ghost him. It's like important for me in this situation to like have a sit down conversation and like a physical conversation to just like talk about how I feel and all that stuff with this certain individual. And by doing that, it shows so much growth, because I was always so nervous to ever have that like in-person conversation, like but it's mature. It's like a mature conversation. If they're also mature, then it's gonna be fine. So I've been thinking about it, and you know, I do want to see him, and I do want to talk with him and all that stuff. And I'm going to, and we've been talking to like me and stuff like that. But I think it's just important to like reflect upon such behaviors and try to like pinpoint why you're doing it and try to go forward in life and never do that actions again. So in this instance, I want to like talk to him and make sure we're on the same page in our relationship. And like, if it's friend, like he also wants a friendship. Like he told me, he's like when I first told him, he was like, oh, like I'm straight, but like I would like to stay friends. And like, honestly, me too, because you're such a cool dude. The big overarching message, y'all, is that you are never perfect. Like no one's perfect. No matter how much you see on Instagram or other social medias or in life, no one is perfect. They always have room to grow. And it is important to be so open-minded with yourself to like always reflect on anything you do and make sure you like put your like the best foot forward. And that's what I'm trying to do, and I want to fix this notion. And also, not just that, but like I also want to reflect on other things and make sure I take the necessary steps to grow and be more mature and all that good stuff. Because I'm a whole ass adult, so it's time to adult, right? But always be a kid. Now, I'm not putting my standards down. Let's put it like that. Like, yes, I need to respect other people's identities, but at the same time, I'm not settling for less. Do you know how much I hate when people tell me like, oh, like your standards are so high, like you need to put it down. Like, no, I do not. Maybe your standards are way too low. Okay, my standards are at like, I don't want a freaking guy that like owns a fucking yacht and like, if you don't make $1 million, then I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? But like in the past, like, I would be like, oh my God, they're such a bad texter. Like, they're not busy for me or whatever. That's like so stupid. Like, texting has become like such a precious communicative way of like gaining someone's heart. And like, oh, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. Like, I've thought about that. It's like, wow, they haven't talked to me like 5 hours. It's like, fuck them. Like, whatever. They don't want to talk to me, whatever. And like, a lot of instances, yeah, they like, I hate when someone has texted you so long and their excuse is like, sorry, I was busy. Like, busy with what? You know, it's just not that hard to like say for an extra 5 seconds of like, oh, I was doing this with like my mom, or I was doing some homework or some shit. I don't know. I'm just going on a rant at this point. But yeah, basically just reflect, y'all. It's so important to self-reflect and grow. And that's what we're gonna do in 2020. We're going to grow. And 2020 is also a year of healing and not just being a better person than in 2019. So with that notion, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you can see every time I upload. If you want to follow me on my social media, you could follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. It's just _ Joshua Barreto. That is JOSHUA BARRETO. No caps and no spaces. Also, if you want to comment below your New Year's resolution, then go right ahead and let's talk about it, because new year, new us, or maybe new year and same you. However you want to look at it, it's up to you. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.